let's find the derivative of secant and of cosecant, and we're going to use the quotient rule on this as well. And it doesn't look like it was going to be a quotient rule, but it's about to turn into one. So secant is really 1 over cosine. There's actually another way to do this involving a rule that you're about to learn. It's called the chain rule. I'm not going to go there right now, but it would be amazing if we did. But we don't know it yet, so let's stick with what we know. Remind me one day. I'll tell you about it. So we are going to find the derivative using the quotient rule. Quotient rule, there's f, there's g. F prime is 0, so 0, which means we're going to get a bunch of stuff that cancels out. So 0 cosine x, that's going to be gone. F prime g minus f g prime all divided by g squared. Okay, well, let's go for the obvious. 0 cosine is gone, and then we are left with positive sine x over cosine squared x, and that is correct, but no one ever writes this answer this way. I'm going to write it a couple different ways. I'm going to go with, let's call it sine x over cosine x times 1 over cosine x. And that's what I have, and this is totally okay because it's like I'm taking this one fraction and breaking it into 2 fractions that are multiplied together. Now, this is correct, and we can call it what it is. That's really tangent, and this is really secant. Oops, secant. And that is correct. Most textbooks will put the secant first, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to use secant first. That's what I do. So let's do the same idea, only with cosecant over here. So we'll bring this over here, and we'll find the derivative of cosecant. And so cosecant, the derivative of that is going to be based on the quotient rule from 1 over sine x. Now, I said something in a previous video that whenever we are taking the derivative, we have, if it's a tangent thing or a trig thing, then cos are going to be negative. So this one was positive. I'll go ahead and tell you this one's going to be negative because it's cosecant. So here we, excuse me, here we go. Struggling to talk. F prime g, you know where that's going, minus f g prime, all divided by g squared. There we go. Let's cancel out the 0 sign. That's going to give me negative cosine over sine squared. And this is correct. It's going to look a lot like what we did just a second ago. We're going to break this up into 2 separate fractions. We'll have negative cosine over sine times 1 over sine. Oops, sine. And so we are left with negative cotan and then cosecant. And just because I wrote it that way doesn't mean that's the way textbooks write it. So correct, go with it, fine, good. Most textbooks put the cosecant first. So negative cosecant, cotan, either is correct. This is what I'll do most of the time. There we go.